cold as a razor blade.
Back for another episode of the Snake Pit, and of course, I would never want to do it without the man himself, the master of the DDT, WWE Hall of Famer, Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, you were fresh back from Texas. What was going on down there?
Oh, man. And a signing we had to do. Then I've got to go watch my granddaughter play volleyball in a big tournament.
No way.
She played like 7 games.
Holy shit. How'd it turn out?
She did pretty good. I was very proud of her. Very proud. And after that, we did some visiting with 9 of the grandkids and their parents, and spent a few days doing that. Went fishing. Had a great time. Cheryl went. She caught the biggest fish.
Did she really?
Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
Man, so kind of like a late birthday celebration for you down there with your family, huh?
Well, in fact, Cheryl threw a big birthday party for me.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What did Jake the Snake's 70th birthday party look like?
Oh, it was fun, man. We had all the grandkids there, their parents, and a few friends. The grappler was there.
All right.
John Nord came. Garrett Sakahara.
Love Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
so, good time.
Good group of you down there. And I do want to ask without letting it go by. You said that your granddaughter's playing volleyball, and which is awesome. I would have to imagine, though, most volleyball players are really tall. You're a tall guy. I know that obviously your father was 7 foot. How tall is your granddaughter?
Well, the one that was playing wasn't tall.
No,
she's the run of the bunch.
How about that?
The other ones are really tall. They also play.
Now, are most of your grandchildren like fairly tall?
Yeah.
Any of them interested in pursuing professional wrestling?
God, I hope not.
If they came to you and they said, "Grandpa, I want to do this. Like, will you help me?" Or how would you feel about that?
Well, first they don't call you Grandpa.
Well, first thing is they don't call me Grandpa.
What do they call you?
Papa Jake.
Papa Jake. All right.
Yeah. But I'd sit them down and have a long talk with them, and then I would help them get started.
Don't want to stifle their creativity if it's something they really want, right?
No, absolutely not.
Now, before we move on, I did also want to ask you, you had your birthday celebration there, and then I think that most people saw yesterday as we're recording this, that your wife, Cheryl, had a birthday celebration of her own. Wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, we had a great time last night, went out and had dinner. I gave her a present, and she's very happy with it. And we're just trying to recover from all the traveling we've been doing.
You guys have been absolutely all over the map. And by the way, you're not done. This weekend, you guys are headed to StarCast down there in Texas. So heading back to Texas, and it's going to be in Arlington. Jake, I know that you're looking forward to All In Weekend there with AEW and getting back to Texas again, right?
Yeah, it'll be good, man. It'll be good to see the fans. And I think I'm doing a 3-hour signing.
Woo.
So that'll be good.
Yeah, man. Get to spend a little time with your fans down there in Arlington, which will be great. And then July 29th, you're going to be headed out to Wildwood, New Jersey for Night of Legends, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of guys out there. Jake, do you have any memories from Wildwood, New Jersey?
No, I don't.
All right, about to make some.
It's time.
I would say so, folks. Get out there. It's Jake, it's Jim Duggan, it's Ted DiBiase, it's Demolition, Sergeant Slaughter. So they're Tito Santana. I mean, they're really bringing out some of the best ever. So make your plans to get out there. Wildwood, New Jersey, July 29th. And with that, Jake, I want to get into our topic. Candidly, with our audience, you and I started recording this one a couple weeks ago. Everything was going just swimmingly, and then StreamYard just went ahead and shit the bed on us. Lost all the progress. So we're picking it back up. We're gonna do it again. It's gonna be even better than the first take, I think. So we're talking about the fallout from WrestleMania 3 back in 1987 and what was going on with you during that period, including near the end of the episode. We're going to talk about an injury that you suffered and you had to take 2 months off. So let's go ahead and dig in if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Jake, Ken Patera is going to be set to make his return to the WWF here in the spring of 1987. And this time he's going to be brought in as a babyface after being kind of a killer heel the last time around. And the company's going to be playing off of his arrest and prison time to show that he's been reformed. So I guess I'll start here, Jake. How much do you know about Ken Patera's arrest and what happened?
Well, I knew about it. I've talked to Ken about it. It's really a raw deal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did Ken tell you happened?
Well, he said he threw the rock through the window.
So that part's legit.
He said the people inside were really egging him on.
Ah.
But that's all I remember.
Do you remember who was with Ken during this thing?
Yeah, Mr. Saito.
Yes. Now, Ken, I know, like a lot of these power lifters, they're crazy. Like I think you've got to be a little bit crazy to get into that line of work. What was Saito like? I've never really heard much about him.
Quiet.
So you don't serve that motherfucker food, though. You'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Jake, I have to ask, back in the day, I know that, you guys are leaving these buildings. For perspective for the fans, it's not like you finish your match and you leave. A lot of time you were sticking around until after your match, you had to shoot something or whatever was going on. You get out of the building, it'd be about 10 o'clock and you got to go to the next town and you're hungry. What can you tell us about trying to find food during those days?
Yeah, it was hard, man. It was really hard, depending on where you were at,
Mm.
You were up in the Northeast, you could usually get some late night restaurants or at least get a good diner. But if you were somewhere else, man, you're shit out of luck.
The thing is too that, like, you're on TV and you're shirtless and it's like, you're supposed to look tan and fit, and like at that hour, if you're gonna hit a gas station, you're probably eating some fucking junk.
Yeah.
So Jake, what was your diet like back in those days?
I held out for real food, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I held out for real food. Usually I'd ask the cops or somebody around the building where a good late night place was.
That's a pretty good move. Did any cop ever like offer to have you come back to his place and feed you or something?
No, they just tell you where to go.
All right. Ordinarily, if you were trying to eat clean on the road, are you just trying to find chicken, steak, or what are you doing?
I didn't eat clean, bro.
So it was like you saw something you wanted to eat and you're like, I'm eating it.
I was on a seafood diet.
Seafood diet.
Yeah, I see it, I eat it.
Tall guys like you can get away with that shit. You guys have better metabolism, so good for you, brother. You were hanging in there. Before we move off of Ken Patera, I have to ask, I know that you said you spoke to Ken. He's not a name that comes up on our podcast very often, probably won't again. What can you tell us about Ken, his work, the guy, etc.?
His work was pretty good, man. I liked him better as a heel, but his work was pretty good. His credentials were unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, he spent probably the better part of his career in prison.
2 straight years in prison for Ken Patera, which is, man, that is crazy. Now, obviously, it's not just for throwing a rock through the window. There were some other things that happened, which you can look them up. I'm not going to get into them here, but, some other things happened that gave him a longer prison sentence. But you're right. It's like probably right in the prime of his career. He's got to go to jail for 2 years. Just brutal.
Yeah.
Something else I'd love to hear your perspective on is a guy who is, as a guy who was a booker, is that the Danny Davis storyline. For fans who might not know, Danny was a ref for the WWF. He began helping heels cheat to win against baby faces, and he would soon pair up with the Hart Foundation, and he'd make his debut as Dangerous Danny Davis at WrestleMania 3. Jake, this year, 1987, you'd eventually go on to work with Danny. And they always say there's nothing new in wrestling, but this story was really unique for the time period. What do you think of having a referee turned heel wrestler?
I think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good for a short period of time.
Short being the operative word.
Yep.
I say short being the operative word because Danny Davis stood about 5'10", which today that's like average wrestler size. A lot of the boys in the locker room are 5'10", but
I
man,
don't
back in
5'10".
what's that?
I don't think he was 5'10".
You think he was a little shorter?
I think he's more like 5'7".
So his listed weight was 5'10", but I'm sure you're
Yeah.
probably right. It was gimmicked. Man, really small for the time. And again, this guy was just a referee. Now he's supposed to be a heel who's getting heat on you. Jake, how do you compromise being in a match with a guy like that?
Well, for me, I didn't give him much.
Okay.
I gave him a little bit, just enough to get a little heat going in the match, so we'd go ahead and make a comeback and then hit him with a DDT. But that's just what that's what they wanted.
So just cheap cutoff is a way to get on
Yeah.
top of you for a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's ways to make it work. At a TV taping in Las Vegas, Meltzer is going to report that you're going to get the biggest reaction on the show. This is the first show where Jimmy Hart is going to show up with a ban the DDT sign. This is a subject that fans have been asking about online for years now since we started the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to turn into a campaign where they're going to encourage fans to write in to help get the DDT banned by the WWF. Jake, what do you remember about this whole thing?
It's an idea I'd used before in Mid-South.
Yeah?
Yeah, we did it in Mid-South too.
And so, did you offer this up, or did WWF Creative kind of say hey, we saw this in Mid-South, or how did that go?
I offered it to them.
Okay. And so, what the idea being? What as far as what the motivation behind this?
It just creates interest in the DDT.
Okay.
It makes it seem even stronger than it can be.
I got you.
And gives the heels something to bitch about. And of course, you can always go to a match where the hold is banned during the match.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the referee turns his back and you do it anyway.
And you're you're trying to get it over that the crowd is not, they're supposed to not support the DDT. So, of course, what's going to happen?
Well, they're cheering their asses off for the DDT. They're asking for it even more.
Especially when you hit it behind everybody's back, I'm sure that the place would come unglued.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. And to your point, a great way to get the DDT over. Where'd you come up with that idea?
Just came to me, man.
That's good shit. And Jimmy Hart is going to be a pretty integral part of this angle where, he's annoying little Jimmy Hart and he's doing his laugh, but trying to say hey, we got to ban this thing. It's dangerous, sending people to the hospital. I do want to get your opinion on Jimmy, though. Honky Tonk Man is obviously who he's working with here, and he's a pretty good talker in his own right. Do you think that Jimmy added a lot to the presentation for him, or do you think that managers should be reserved for people who aren't really that good on the mic?
I think Jimmy helped him a lot, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is the main benefit? Just added heat because of Jimmy?
Yeah, added heat because of Jimmy. He's electric, man. He's electric. So you put him out there at ringside, man, he's going to create some damn noise.
That's for damn sure. It was easy for the audience to hate Jimmy Hart running around screaming with that megaphone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, time to take a quick break to talk about the folks that are changing the game for work boots. I am, of course, talking about our friends over there at Brunt. Let me let you in on a little secret right now. Choosing work boots doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sacrifice comfort or durability anymore. A lot of time back in the day, they felt good, but they wouldn't last. Or if they lasted, they're going to beat your feet up. That's old school work boots. And believe me, I grew up in Elk County, up there in like the mountains and the woods of Pennsylvania. And work boots were like a way of life. You need a good pair of work boots just to survive up that way. And let me tell you, when it comes to quality work boots that feel good, that look good, I mean, you can't do any better than Brunt. That's just all there is to it. They've finally ended the trade-off. You don't have to sacrifice comfort or durability anymore. They've designed boots that withstand the toughest job sites while feeling as comfortable as your favorite pair of sneakers. My Brunt work boots go with me basically everywhere. I love wearing them. They're comfortable. I get a ton of compliments on them. I actually just had them back up in Elk County with me when I was there for a class reunion, and a lot of my classmates were like, "Those boots are incredible." And I'm like, "I know." I'm trying to not get them too dirty while I'm out and about because they look good, they feel good, and they are just tough as nails. And by the way, their founder, Eric Gerard, he grew up blue collar, and he started Brunt after his friends in the trades encouraged him to start a workwear brand that was really built for them. That's why all Brunt products are named after the guys he grew up with. Forget about those break-in periods that you have with your old boots. Don't need them anymore. You put these on immediately, and they just feel incredible on your foot and do not beat you up. Don't give you like the blisters like a lot of new work boots will. But Brunt isn't just about work boots, by the way. They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. So heavy-duty work pants, weather-resistant jackets. Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive no matter what the conditions are. And I can't emphasize this enough. These might be the most comfortable work boots I have ever put on, but they also deliver real performance on the job if that's what you need them for. Whether you need waterproof, safety toe, or soft toe, pull up, or lace up, they've got you covered. And they are so confident that these boots are going to blow you away that they even let you try it on the job. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt with code SNAKE at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com and use that code SNAKE, and you're all set. I want to say it again. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use that code SNAKE at checkout. Head to bruntworkwear.com, use the code SNAKE, and that's it. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them that we're the ones that sent you. Guys, Brunt didn't just make durable work boots. They reinvented comfort for the hardest working guys out there. That's you. Go and try these boots. I know you're going to love them just like I do. This taping in Vegas is a double taping for 2 different episodes of Superstars, and you'll come out and be part of a 6-man tag team match with you paired with JYD and Steamboat against Adrian Adonis, Harley Race, and Randy Savage. You'll win for your team by cradling Harley Race. So we've discussed everybody involved in this match before, except for Adrian Adonis. At this time, he was doing the adorable Adrian gimmick, which is really something whenever you look back on it here in 2025. Adrian was doing, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a homosexual gimmick, with the idea being that, homosexuality wasn't widely accepted back in those days. And so as a result of it, he was getting a lot of heat. Jake, what did you make of this gimmick for Adrian Adonis?
Well, I'm just glad it was a gimmick.
Yeah, he played it pretty well. We sure it was a gimmick?
Yeah. I don't know, bro.
Well, Jake, I love hypotheticals. Hypothetically, and whenever you went and met with Vince and spoke to him, if he would have said, "Jake, I'm going to give you a shitload of money, but I want you to be adorable Jake Roberts," do you think you would have bid on it?
No, I wouldn't.
No amount of money could have convinced you?
I couldn't go that way.
I'm with you. That would be really hard to do. Which, looking back on it and seeing what they did with Dustin Rhodes, man, Dustin really owned that gimmick and kind of made it his whole career on it, right?
Yeah, he damn sure did, man. He took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, if we thought that it was over the top with Adrian, boy, oh boy, were things going to change a couple years later.
Yeah.
This is going to be among the final matches Adrian is going to have in the WWF. He's going to lose his job in May 1987 due to what the WWF will call dress code violations. In reality, his cocaine addiction had apparently become a really, really big issue, and he was let go. Jake, did you get to know Adrian very well at all?
Not very well, man. He was pretty tight-lipped.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I've always hear and that people always put over when it comes to him is that he had a fantastic mind for wrestling, excellent worker, and was legitimately kind of a badass. What did you think of him, as a professional wrestler?
He could work, man. He could get the job done in the ring. I don't know how much of a badass he was, but Dan Spivey knocked him out 3 times
In one night?
in one match.
What do you do to piss off Dan?
Was putting him to sleep.
Oh, he was trying to choke him out.
Yeah,
Why the fuck would you try that on Dan Spivey?
just being fucking stupid.
It's safe to assume he's probably under the influence.
Yeah.
If you're getting back up after 2 knockouts to keep fighting, you're on something.
Yeah, he got up the 3rd time, but Jimmy Hart was holding him down. His face was a complete fucking mess, man.
Yikes.
He was bleeding out of everywhere.
Dan Spivey is not a man to be fucking around with once, let alone 3 times in one match.
No.
What's the reaction backstage when one of the boys comes back from a match in the ring with the absolute dog shit beat out of him like that?
Holy fuck. Glad it wasn't me.
On a few occasions during this time, this is something that's really interesting, I found. You're going to team up with The Crusher, which is a pairing I would have never guessed would have happened in a million years. I completely forgot that Vince was bringing him in for house shows during this period, and he was pairing him with you a few times. He's a North Midwest legend to the point that in 2019, there was a bronze statue erected of him in Milwaukee. Jake, working with The Crusher, pretty damn cool. What do you remember about it?
He was pretty cool, man. He was low key.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about 2 different generations and mindsets of wrestlers. Like you and The Crusher, not exactly probably on the same page with the approach and everything. How was it teaming with him? Just keep his ass on the apron?
Yeah. Yeah. He stood on the apron. I got the match right, and he made us come back. We went home.
There you go. Easy.
Yeah.
Jake, another hypothetical for you. When inevitably a bronze statue of you is raised somewhere, where are you hoping it's going to be? Cheetahs in Atlanta?
Yeah, right. I don't think so.
Where are you thinking?
No, I don't know, bro. I wouldn't dare to guess.
I mean, if it's not Stone Mountain, Georgia, somebody fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, something pretty wild happens during this time, too. I'm really excited to get your take on this. Around this time, Bill Watts will sell his territory, which is now called the UWF, to the Crocketts. And as a guy who was just working for Bill the year prior, would you say that you were surprised to learn that he sold his business?
Yeah, I was. Yep, that was him giving up.
He just doesn't seem like a man who's like willing to relinquish control of anything. So it's, I mean, shocking.
Well, he finally saw the writing on the wall, man.
He knew that Vince was just taking it all over.
Yep.
Well, with the purchase, the Crockett's are going to get more than a dozen wrestling rings and TV and arena contracts. So, Jake, on the surface, when you hear that they're getting all this, does this sound like a good move by the Crockett's?
Well, it was a desperate move by the Crocketts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just lasted a little bit longer. That's all.
A lot of folks point to this and say that it was the end for the Crockett's because not only did they get, the TV and arena contracts and all the rings and stuff like that, they also got Bill Watts' debt whenever they bought this company. So a guy, I think it was Bruce Pritchard. There have been a lot of guys along the way that have said Bill Watts absolutely fleeced the Crockett's on this deal, took advantage of them. Is that your perception of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Crockett's are no dummies. It's hard to imagine why they would make a deal like this and assume all that debt because like on paper, all these talents are just going to be out there now and you can just grab them. You don't have to acquire any debt to get these folks.
Nope.
Crazy.
Wouldn't have to.
Well, at a Saturday night's main event taped on April 28th, you're going to lose to Kamala after Honky Tonk Man, who's dressed as Kim Chi, is going to attack you and hit multiple neck breakers. Following this event, you're going to be out of action for nearly 2 straight months. And when you'll return to the ring in June, Meltzer has it that you had torn ligaments in your shoulder. Jake, is this a report from Dave accurate?
Yeah.
Do you recall how you tore the ligaments in your shoulder?
No, I don't. I don't remember how I did it.
Not an injury that a lot of folks get outside of sports. What can you tell us about suffering from torn ligaments?
It's painful as shit, man.
Yeah.
Painful, very painful. And it was slow to heal. Therefore 2 months off. Yeah, it sucked.
Now we know, like with a rotator cuff injury, like you can't like lift your shoulder like above this level.
Yeah.
With torn ligaments, is it the same? Like you can't reach up to the top shelf?
Right.
Brutal. And I'm sure it's even tougher when you're sitting at home and again, you don't work, you don't get paid.
Yeah, you got that right.
Last topic I want to discuss here before we wrap this one up is some huge news, which comes while you're away with your injury. Your old pal Ted DiBiase agreed to come to the WWF, and here's what Meltzer had to say in the May 25th, 1987 issue of The Observer. DiBiase had reached a handshake agreement just a few days earlier with Jim Crockett Promotions to remain with the UWF for a reported $250,000 guaranteed over the next year. The deal would have also allowed DiBiase to keep his lucrative Japan commitments. So, man, you're talking about a shit pile of money for Ted. He was making about $1,000 a day when he would be on tour there in Japan. So if he got $250K guaranteed plus Japan, that's a lot of money at the end of the day for DiBiase. But he turns it down. Man, we just talked about how you don't work, you don't get paid, and guaranteed contracts were just unheard of in those days. I have to ask, Jake, if you were faced with the same thing, come to the WWF or make all that guaranteed money from the Crocketts, which do you think you would have selected?
WWF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does WWF, and obviously Ted made that choice too. Why does coming to the WWF trump guaranteed money in wrestling?
Well, because you got all the TV behind you.
Mm.
That's where it all starts. Is how many people get you on TV?
Yeah.
TV time. If you've got TV time, you've got an opportunity to get yourself over. Crockett's aren't going to have that much TV time. And not anybody's watching the Crockett's anyway.
Mm.
So their numbers were falling.
So it's more long-term thinking than the short-term. Hey, I'm going to make a shitload of money in this short period of time. You're looking at more like I can make a fuckload of money over years.
Right.
Now, obviously, nobody knew that Ted was about to become the $1 Million Man, but I'm curious. What were your thoughts at the time when you heard the news that DiBiase is set to make his debut in New York?
I was happy for him, man. Very happy for him.
I know he was buddies with Bruce, but he's also buddies with you and Hacksaw. Were you trying to get him brought in, or was that all Bruce Pritchard?
Oh, yeah.
Did you picture him coming in as a heel? Because at the time he was a big name babyface in the UWF.
Yeah, I always seen him as a heel.
Yeah, he plays it just a little bit too well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Jake, that is going to wrap us up for this time. We're going to continue the story. Gosh, there's a lot happening in 1987, so we're going to continue hearing about more of it. But as always, brother, appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, that is going to do it for this week. Just want to give you a reminder that if you're looking to attract that 25 to 54-year-old male demographic to your product or service, you've got to get over to advertisewithsnake.com. Jake, still a household name, still out there doing meet and greets, meeting fans, talking to people, going to different cities, and you can get him to put over your stuff to the exact audience that you're targeting. If you need some evidence that it works, just listen to the show. We are routinely advertising for the same businesses because they know that what we do here on the Snake Pit works. Head over to advertisewithsnake.com and make Jake the Snake Roberts your tag team partner. Get over to cameo.com/Jake Snake for a personal message from the Hall of Famer himself. Here's a recent 5-star review from Eddie. Jake does a mean roast. Thank you. It was awesome. Guys, if you're lifelong fans of Jake the Snake Roberts, you've got to at least get over there and get a look at these reviews on Cameo. It's cameo.com/Jake Snake. It's the perfect gift. It's the perfect thing to treat yourself with. Go and order yours right now. Check us out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@SnakePitPod. We got short clips from the show, some highlights, some exclusive content. Do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. It's a really great way to support our show. Get over there, like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. It'll hook us up big time. And speaking of hooking us up big time, if you've enjoyed the podcast, please do us a favor and like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review on your podcast app. That's a big one for Jake and I because that attracts new advertisers. Catch Jake on X at Jake Snake DDT, on Instagram at Jake the Snake DDT, and on Facebook at Real Jake the Snake. You can follow me at Marcus P. D'Angelo on X. And if you have any future questions for the show, go ahead and drop them right there, pal. Right in my DMs. I love hearing from you guys, whether it's good or bad, whether you've just got a question or you just want to say hi. Hit me up in those DMs. Again, it's Marcus P. D'Angelo on X.